Metro Sports Network presents Pro Football 1980 Week 4. The 2-1 Oakland Raiders against the 3-0 Buffalo Bills from Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. All right, I'm going to admit something right up front. This is a retape. I don't normally just always treat these things like they're live, and obviously they're recorded, but they're live, and we do it all in the game in one take. I might do the halves for the football games on 2 different days, but they're always on one take. The reason why I'm going to tell you this up front is that this game tends to injure people more than they should. And so when I played the first half of this game, and it was actually not bad, but it had Mark Wilson as the quarterback for the Raiders. Okay. And he was terrible. It was 2 for 11. But when I went to look to see whether, Jim Plunkett or Dan Pastorini, who got the most of the snaps that year for the Raiders, were hurt, they both were hurt, which is understandable. Pastorini missed a lot of 1980, and Jim Plunkett took over, and they went to the Super Bowl. But Plunkett didn't miss this game in real life. When you look at the stats, Mark Wilson only threw 5 passes in 1980. Certainly not realistic that he'd be starting a game. So that's why we did that. Okay, so let's do this. With that disclaimer out of the way, let's do the starting lineups. For the Oakland Raiders, it's Mark Van Egan and Ira Matthews, the running backs. Cliff Branch and Bob Chandler, the wide receivers. The tight end is Raymond Chester. The quarterback will be Jim Plunkett because I uninjured him. The offensive line for the Raiders is one of the best ever, or at least the end of one of the best ever. Art Shell and Henry Lawrence, the tackles. Mickey Marvin and Gene Upshaw, the guards. And Dave Dalby, the center. Defensively for the Raiders, Dave Browning and Don Matuzik are the defensive ends. They play a 4-3. Reggie Kinlaw and Dave Pear are the defensive tackles. The linebackers on the outside, Ted Hendricks, the Stork, and Rod Martin. And Matt Millen, ever heard of him, is the inside linebacker. The corners, Lester Hayes, and oh my goodness, is he good. And Dwayne Osteen. And the safeties for the Raiders, Mike Davis, and Burgess Owens. For the Buffalo Bills, who lead the AFC East, Joe Cribbs and Curtis Brown are your running backs. Jerry Butler and Frank Lewis are your wide receivers. Mark Brammer is your tight end. Joe Ferguson, the veteran, is your quarterback. It's a mix of the old O.J. Electric Company and some new faces in this offensive line. Ken Jones and Joe Devlin are the tackles. Reggie McKenzie and Conrad Dobler are your guards, and Will Grant is your center. Defensively for the Bills, they would be a playoff team in 81, but not quite yet in 1980. They play a 4-3. Ben Williams and Sherman White are your defensive ends. Fred Smerlis and Mike Kaddish are your defensive tackles. Isaiah Robertson and Lucius Sanford are your outside linebackers. Jim Haslett is the inside linebacker. Charles Romes and Mario Clark are your corners. And Steve Freeman and Bill Simpson, who's hurt, so Simpson won't start, are technically your starting safeties. When we come back, the kick from Oakland and Buffalo. And as with the first take in this game, somehow the Bills are favored by 11, which I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think the Buffalo shouldn't be favored that much. The temperature, it's the first week of October. It's 50 degrees. It's clear and it's windy. 15 to 25. Oakland will receive the toss. They are the gray blobs. They'll have the black numbers. Ira Matthews stands on his 8-yard line. Woodington and Moody stand on their 15. The winds are going from left to right, or how Oakland will move the football, from 15 to 25 miles an hour. It will make a difference. Mike Mayer is the kicker. He stands and he's ready. I think he was a soccer-style kicker. And for those of you too young to understand what that means, he kicks like you would see today. And gets a toe on the ball, and we're underway. Matthews from his 2 to the 10 to the 15 to the 20. And he fumbles the football. Who's got it? It's Buffalo. They will recover. Matthews had it at the 20. Nelson decked him at the 25, and Fred Smerlis picked it up. So how about that? The Buffalo Bills start on their own on the Oakland 25, 1st and 10 following the turnover. So it is Cribbs and Brown, and at 7 and 4, you see what the Bills are their receiving abilities. Butler and Lewis and Brammer. And Jones and McKenzie are the better guards, or the better offensive linemen. Hendricks and Hayes are the best defenders for the Raiders. We're going to try the infamous one-play drive here. A long cross to Lewis is the call. Ferguson throws. And it's intercepted right off the bat, and he's going to go to the 40, 50, 40, 30, all the way. No, what? No. At the Buffalo 21. So it was intercepted by Lester Hayes, and he goes all the way down to the Buffalo 21-yard line. Guess we won't call that play again. So the first two plays of the ball game are turnovers. The fumble on the kickoff return and the interception. I said you don't throw at Lester Hayes. There was a 35% chance of completion there. They were trying for the touchdown. They were being bold, and Lester Hayes makes them pay. So Plunkett pitches it far side to Van Egan, and he will get no gain.
Illegal chop block. Offense, number 87.
Raymond Chester.
15-yard penalty.
Oh, boy. Well, not really what you want to start the ball game. Well, what an incredible 29 seconds. 2 turnovers and a personal foul. 1st and 25 for the Raiders in the Buffalo 36. So Van Egan on the fullback dive to see what they can get. He crossed the 35. He gets down to the 30. Inside to the 25. Wow, he's still dragging down people. He gets a gain of 14 as he stopped at the 22 at 2nd down and 11. What a nice run for Van Egan. That was absolutely the right call. So Dave Dalby plowed the Buffalo line out of the way, and it's a good one. Williams and Smirlis are 8 to 9s respectively. So 2nd down and 11 from the Buffalo 22. Plunkett on a medium hitch to Cliff Branch, and he's got it, and he's going to score. He caught it at the 8, and he waltzes in the end zone for 6. So the Raiders strike first. And you wonder why they were a Super Bowl team. Chris Barr will kick the extra point, and it's good. So with 13:34 to play in the first quarter, the Raiders, following a turnover on a 2-play drive for 36 yards, take 57 seconds off the clock. They lead 7-0. So Miller, the red background with the white O, stands on his 8-yard line, with Browns and Hooks standing at the 15. Barr is a regular style kicker, the traditional pendulum straight kicker. And that ball will be returned from 2 yards deep in the end zone. And that was not a smart decision. He gets to the 10, to the 12 before the Raiders stop him. Owens with a tackle return of 14 from Miller. And Buffalo sets up shop again with 13:27 to go in the first quarter at their own 12, trailing 7-0. Cribbs on a trap left. He gets to the 15, and not much more than that. The Raiders played for the run, and they blitz 1. Browning with the tackle. Dave Browning with the tackle, and Cribbs gets 4. 2nd down and 6. Let's see, what else can we tell you? Jones and McKenzie's are 8 on the offensive line. Dobler and Devlin's are 7. For the Raiders, their best players defensively, Kinlaw at defensive tackles an 8. Ted Hendricks is a 10. And Lester Hayes, as you saw from the first play from scrimmage, is a 10+. He is just fantastic. And one of the reasons why the Raiders won the Super Bowl in 1980. Curtis Brown on an off tackle to the right. And he gets stacked up by number 74. That's Dave Pear for a gain of 1. 3rd down and 5 for Buffalo from their own 17-yard line. So we're going to go to the screen to Cribbs to the far side. Ferguson waits. Cribbs has it. Does he have room? He does. He gets a 1st down, a gain of 6 before Teddy Hendricks makes the tackle. 1st and 10 for Buffalo on their own 23-yard line. So Cribbs on a sweep to the near side of the screen is the call from Ferguson. A quick call. He gets across the 20 and maybe back to the line of scrimmage. He does get back to the line. No gain. Matt Millen. It's a happy picture of Matt. On the stop. 1st tackle for him today. 2nd and 10 for the Bills. As they work right to left. Now remember, in Action PC football, we do not technically change ends at the end of the 1st quarter. The wind will change, but you won't see that reflected on the field. Buffalo working into this wind around 20 miles an hour on a nice day, 50-degree day in Orchard Park. Going to go Cribbs on an off tackle to the right on 2nd down and 10, and he gets nowhere. Number 53 with a stop, Rod Martin. No gain. Davis, the safety, was out, so McKinney comes in for Oakland. 3rd and 10 for the Bills. Cribbs, 3 carries, 4 yards. Medium hitch to Lewis is the call. Ferguson throws, and it's incomplete, but there's a flag down.
Holding. Offense.
It'll
Number
be declined.
72. 10-yard penalty.
That's Jones with the hold. The Raiders will decline it, and it will be 4th and 10. So Joe Ferguson starts. I don't know whose picture is that. That's not Joe Ferguson. 1 for 3 for 6 yards. If it is, that's a college pick. Greg Cater will punt into this wind. Ira Matthews will be the returnman for Oakland. Kick is away. Matthews stands at his 37 and calls for a fair catch right then and there at the 36. So a 41-yard punt. Raiders had the football 1st and 10 from their own 36. 10-17 to go 1st quarter. I don't know why the game started Matthews. We'll pretend that Kenny King was late for Mr. Curfew or something like that, because he was the other back. Al Whittington will be the 3rd stringer, and we'll see some time. So King on an off tackle to the left is the play call, and he gets to the 40-yard line before Ben Williams makes the tackle. 2nd down and 6. Ball spotted at the Oakland 40. And Davis will be back for the Raiders.
Hot.
2nd and 6. Medium hitch to Bob Chandler is the call. Plunkett throws. He's got it. 1st and 10.
Holding. Offense. Number 63.
Oh, my goodness.
10-yard penalty.
Gene Upshaw with a hold, however, and that nullifies a 16-yard gain and a 1st down. So the Bills will take that in a minute. 2nd and 16 for Oakland from their own 30. It worked so well, we'll do it again. The fullback dive to Van Egan. He gets to the 35. He has room. He gets to the 40. And wow, does he get the 1st down? No, he's short, but he gets 15 on the play. And so he has 2 carries for 29 yards. We ran the same play. The Bills were playing for the loose pass. And Oakland burned him with it. 3rd and 1. So they have options here on 3rd down. From their own 45, under 9 minutes to go. King on the off tackle to the right. Do the Bills read it? No, they don't. Well, he gets the 1st down anyway. They played for the tight run. Mike Kaddish with the stop. Gene Upshaw kind of missed the block there, but the Raiders get their 1st down, 1st and 10 from their own 46. They lead at 7-0. And the play call was a long pass to Chandler, but Plunkett didn't like what he saw, and he calls a timeout. So the clock is stopped with 7:58 to go in the 1st quarter. The Raiders leading Buffalo 7-0 here from Orchard Park. Even though you got a 37% chance, I like the call. Plunkett has time. Now he doesn't, and he is sacked by Williams for a loss of 8. Ben Williams with the sack, 2nd down and 18. No wonder why Plunkett didn't like the call. Tom Flores and Plunkett exchanged dirty looks on the sidelines. And we'll run King on the dive. He gets across to the 40, and that's about it. Flag on the play, however.
Holding. Offense. Number 87.
Raymond
10-yard
Chester
penalty.
again. So this has been a sloppy start for Oakland, even though they lead on the scoreboard. So it's going to be 2nd down and 28 from the Oakland 28. So Oakland will go 3 wide here. Martini is the 3rd wide receiver. Chester the tight end. Not a great game start for Raymond Chester here. And we'll try a screen to Van Egan, but they're on Plunkett in a hurry, and Hazlitt sacks him for a loss of 7.
Defense. Number 29, 5-yard penalty.
However, Mario Clark jumped the play, and so it's offside. So the sack is nullified. Hazlitt is not a happy camper. Plunkett is, and it'll be 2nd down and 23. Again, screen to Van Egan. Raiders protect better this time. Van Egan has it at the 30. He gets to the 34. He technically gets a gain of 1. And it'll be 3rd down and 22 for the Raiders from their own 34. The offensive line for Oakland not covering themselves in glory early on. Rich Martini is his name, and he caught 1 pass on the year. It sounds like something from a Dean Martin sketch, doesn't it? We'll go medium slant to Martini, and Plunkett is forced to call time again. He didn't like the defense. It was a prevent defense. So they'll try a short little slant to Branch. Branch has it. No, he doesn't. They weren't on the same page. And so the Raiders are forced to punt, 4th and 22 from their own 34. 6:15 to go, 1st quarter. Buffalo is giving it to them short, and the Raiders couldn't take advantage. Not sure they would have made 22 on it, but you never know with runs after the catch. So the Raiders are down to 1 timeout in the first half, and this drive is 7 plays from -2 yards. So Ray Guy has the win at his back. He will punt it. Joe Cribbs will be the return man for Buffalo. And it will be inside the 15. Cribbs will call for a fair catch to the sideline, and Cribbs catches it at the 12. 54 yards by Ray Guy, and Buffalo starts this drive First and 10 on their own 12 with 6:10 to go. Medium slant to Jerry Butler is the call. Ferguson throws. Butler can't get it, but there's a flag on the play.
Holding offense.
Oh.
Number 72.
That's on Jones. That's the second one on him in the first quarter. And so it'll be first down and 16 from the Buffalo 6. A football game from 1974 is breaking out here. All right, what can we do for Cribbs? Let's do a pitch to the right for Cribbs. And a pitch to the near side. The Raiders read it all the way. Hendricks is going to get there into the tackle. It's a fumble. And it's recovered by the Raiders. And does he get into the end zone? Matusik recovers it. Martin with a stop in the ball. He doesn't score, but it's recovered at the 1-yard line. Well, so first and goal from the 1 for Oakland. Raiders go full house backfield here. 2 tight ends, Chester and Ramsey, 3 running backs. A dive gives him the best chance, and Mark Van Eegen obliges. It's 6 more for the Raiders. So 3 carries for Van Eegen for 30 yards. It's the 1-play drive, but they only had to move 3 feet. Barr with the extra point. It's good. So with 5:53 to play in the first quarter, the Raiders are all over the Bills, 14-0. Miller stands and will return this from 2 yards deep in his end zone. To the 5, 10, and again the Bills get bit by doing this. Moody makes the tackle at the 11-yard line. It's a 13-yard gain. Well, the natives here in Buffalo are restless. 2 turnovers have led to 14 points for the Raiders. 5:46 first quarter. Ball on the Buffalo 11. And we'll pitch it to the right for Curtis Brown. He'll at least get this one. He gets some yardage here at 15. Does he get the first down? Yes, he does. He gets across the 20, 25, 30. He has room. He gets to the 35, almost to the 40. Owens makes a tackle at the 39, but it's a gain of 28, and that's the first real positive rushing play for the Buffalo Bills. So now they have all sorts of room to work with. The Raiders played for the pass, and they blitzed one blitzer. Burgess Owens with a second tackle. Why are the Bills 3-0? Well, they average 32.3 points a game, while only allowing 12.7. The Raiders, of course, we've only played 3 games. The Raiders have 14 in the first quarter today. Medium hitch to Lewis on first down is the call. Ferguson throws. It's intercepted by Hendricks.
Wearing the face mask. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic.
But I believe it's coming back because Matusik grabbed the face mask. So I believe you take the interception off the board. You do. No interception. Boy, Ferguson is lucky there. First and 10 from the Oakland 46 on the penalty. Yes, this is Oakland Raider 1980 football here. Lots and lots of stupid penalties. They were known for it. Audible. It was just going to be a screen to Cribbs. It was a sweep to the right. Cribbs has it. Takes advantage. First down and more. Inside the 30 to the 20, and he hangs on to it. 26-yard line. Before Lester Hayes makes the tackle, a gain of 26. So a good drive for the Bills as they're into the win, so they're technically in field goal range for Mike Mayer, but they need to get a little bit closer there. Draft right for Curtis Brown. To the 25. To the 22 before Batusic makes the stop. That's his first official tackle. It's a gain of 4, 3 carries for Brown for 33 yards. Second down and 6 from the Oakland 22. Under 4 minutes to go here, first quarter. Bills driving. Raiders, costly face mask penalty on an interception. Off tackle to Cribbs. And the Raiders are just keying on him. He's going to lose at least one here. He won. Browning with a tackle. Dave second of the day. Joe Cribbs, 5 carries for a -2 yards. The Bills are 1 for 2 on third down. Butler on a medium slant is the call. Ferguson has time as Butler gets to the 10, the 5, touchdown! Buffalo Bills, that's his 7th of the year, and they're on the board. Found the seam and grabbed the score. So here comes Mike Mayer for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 2:33 to go, the Buffalo Bills have cut into that lead. A 5-play, 89-yard drive takes 3 minutes and 13 seconds, and the score now is Oakland 14, Buffalo 7. So Mike Mayer will kick it off. Ira Matthews to return. But it'll be Matthews from his 9 to the 20, 25, 29, 7-yard line before Nelson makes the tackle. And they'll start this drive from their own, from the 27, 2:27 to go in the first quarter. They lead 14-7. Tackle for Van Egan is the call. He gets to the 31 before Ben Williams makes the tackle. Gain of 4. Second and 6. Medium hitch to Bob Chandler is the call. Plunkett throws, and it's caught for a first down. A gain of 13. Mario Clark makes the tackle the moment he caught the ball. And the Raiders have it 1st and 10 from their 44. King on a sweep to the near side. Across the 45. Can't quite get it to midfield. Stopped by Sherman White at the 48-yard line. Under a minute to go here, first quarter. Raiders driving. 2nd and 6. Buffalo blitzes. Screen to King on the audible. Let's go play that one in the Super Bowl. Here is the pitch. He's got it, and it has a first down and more, and he stopped at the 35-yard line. So a gain of 17. Lucius Sanford on the stop. Plunkett reads it right, and that will be the last play of the first quarter. After one in Orchard Park, it's the Oakland Raiders 14, the Buffalo Bills 7. So the Raiders will now work into the wind here in the second quarter, 20 miles an hour, 50 degrees. They start the quarter on the Buffalo 35. Oakland is 2-1, and they haven't done a heck of a lot offensively. 18 points, 0.3 points per game, and they've allowed 16. So their defense has been good, and their offense has been mediocre. Van Egan off tackle to the right. He gets it 3 yards before Kadish makes a stop at the 32. That's his second stop. Van Egan, 5 carries now for 37. Plunkett, if you're wondering, 4 for 5 for 53. King on a pitch to the right, near side. Gets across the 30. Does he get the first down? Yes, he does. He gets the first down and more and gets almost to the 20. Stopped by Lucius Sanford at the 21, a gain of 11. So 1st and 10 for the Raiders from the Buffalo 21. They are driving down here again. And Plunkett will try to do a medium hitch to Chester, but he's going to be sacked by Williams. So Ben Williams gets his second sack of Plunkett on the day, but they lose Lawrence. The Raiders lose Lawrence. As his return is questionable, Mason now will play the right tackle position. 2nd down and 15. Draw to Kenny King. They don't bite. He gets to the 20. He gets to the 15. He's going to get a first down and more. He gets inside to the 7-yard line before Roland Solomon makes the tackle after a gain of 19. So every time the Raiders get 2nd and long, they run the football, and they've done it 4 times. 3 times it's worked. So 1st and goal for Oakland on the 7. Pitch left to the far side to Van Eegen. Does he have room? He gets to the 5. He turns the corner and he scores. Art Shell and Mickey Marvin make the big blocks, but Van Eegen gets his 2nd touchdown, and the Raiders go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point for Barr is good. So a 9-play, 73-yard drive takes 4:56 off the clock. With 12:31 to go in the first half, it's Oakland 21, Buffalo 7. Kick is away from Barr. Taken by Upman at the 8-yard line. Gets to the 20 before the 19 before Matt Millen makes the tackle. It's Curtis Brown on the return and Millen on the tackle. 12:24. Buffalo football from their own 19. They now have the win here in the second quarter. Ferguson wants to throw the long medium out pass to Butler. Dumps it down to Cribbs instead, and he gets a gain of 4. But a bad injury is Dave Pear. I think he broke his leg. They're saying out this week and plus the next 9. So that's bad news for the Raiders. Campbell is now the other defensive tackle, so that's not good. Clock stop, 12:19, 2nd down and 6. Cribbs has 30 yards in receiving on 3 catches. They need Cribbs to get going on the ground. He gets the carry this time on an off tackle, and it's a gain of 1. Brammer is hurt, so he'll limp to the sideline. Joe Cribbs has -1 yards rushing on 6 carries. 3rd down and 5 for Buffalo from their own 24. Screen pass to Curtis Brown near side. Ferguson delivers. Brown has it. He gets the first down and more to the 36-yard line before Mike Davis makes his first tackle in the ballgame. 1st and 10 for the Bills from their own 36. So the Bills are spreading it out a little bit. Ferguson getting good short yardage situations to throw into. He just hasn't had a lot of luck from Cribbs on the ground. The Raiders have shut that down. 32 yards rushing for the Bills today. 65 in the net in the air for 97. They trail 21-7 here in the second quarter. Trap left to Cribbs, and he's met in the backfield, but the tackle is missed, so he gets it to the 39-yard line. Flag on the play.
Offense. Number 70, 10-yard
Devlin
penalty.
with the hold. He got 3. That would have taken him into positive yardage on the day, but it's just not working right now. So 1st and 20 for the Bills from their own 26. 11:20 to go in the first half. Lots of 20s. So Cribbs on the drive. If it works for the Raiders, let's see if it works for the Bills. He gets to the 30. He doesn't get much more than that, though, and he's knocked down by Hendricks at the 31 and gain of 5. 3rd stop for Hendricks today. 2nd down and 15 for the Bills. Pitch right to Curtis Brown at the far side. Gets around the corner, gets to the 35, stopped at the 37 by Rod Martin, a gain of 6. Third stop for Rod today, and Brown 4 carries for 39 yards. Third down and 9, Buffalo will go 3 wide here. Medium slant to Frank Lewis is the call. Ferguson throws. Lewis has it. Gets across midfield to the 40, 30. He slows down before at the 27-yard line. A nice catch by Lewis. He found that seam and got 21 yards on his own. A gain of 36, his first of the day. Mike Davis with a tackle. Buffalo able to move the football a bit. First and 10 from the Oakland 27. He'll keep it 3 wides and give Roosevelt Leaks a couple carries here. He will lose a yard or no gain as Hendricks makes the tackle. His 4th of the day. Reggie McKenzie missed his block there. Second down and 10 from the 27-yard line. As Emily, the cheerleading cat, gets in the way, so I can't get on the keyboard. You gonna cuddle? She wants to be paid. We'll be back in. All right, the cat has settled down. Second down and 10 for Buffalo from their own from the Oakland 27. Clock running, under 8.5 to go. And try short flat to Leaks. He's got it, but he fumbles the football. No, he somehow goes to the other side of the field. Does a reverse and gets 8 yards. So third down and 2 for the Bills from the Oakland 19-yard line. Clock is stopped. 8:08 to go. They are certainly within good field goal range at this point. So Cribbs and Brown back in the game. Off tackle to Brown. He's been the better of the 2 running backs. He gets the first down. He gets a little bit more to the 15. Down to the 12-yard line when Owens tackles him by the ankle. First down, gain of 7 for the Bills from the Oakland 12-yard line. Ferguson will try a medium hitch to Lewis in the end zone. He throws, and Lewis has it for the touchdown. Osteen with the stop, but Lewis had the ball, and Buffalo scores. So the extra point is coming. 7:13 to go in the half. Mike Mayer converts, and a 10-play, 81-yard drive. Takes 5:11 off the clock. With 7:13 to play in the first half, it's the Raiders 21 and the Bills 14. So Matthews, the return man, and it's a touchback. So the Raiders start this drive from their own 20 on the touchback. 7:13 to go in the half. They lead 21-14. Van Egan on the sweep left is the call, and he gets across the line. He gets to the 25-4 before being knocked out of bounds by Fred Smirlis, number 76. Second and 6, 7:06 to go. Van Egan 7 carries for 48 yards and 2 scores. Smirlis, that's the first time we've called his name actually on the game screen. Chester on a medium slant. Plunkett has time, throws. Chester couldn't quite get there. Nixon got a hand on it. Third down and 6, 7 to go. Branch on the short slant. Plunkett throws. Branch has it. Roams with a stop, gain of 10. 1st and 10 for Oakland from their own 34-yard line. Branch now has 2 catches for 32 yards. Plunkett 5 of 7 on the day for 63. Oakland leads by 7. Long slant to Chandler. The chances of making this are 32%. He throws, and it's incomplete. Freeman with a tackle. Boost for the Raiders as Lawrence comes back to the offensive line. Sanford hurried Plunkett into the throw, and it's incomplete. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. Off tackle right for King on 2nd and 10. The Bills sniff that one out, and it's a loss of 1. Sherman White with the tackle at the 33. 3rd down and 11 for Oakland from their own 33. Van Egan on the screen is the call near side. Plunkett throws. It's caught. He gets to the 40. He gets a 1st down. He gets to the 46. Sherman White is out. He'll miss next week. It was Mario Clark with a tackle by the ankles. Kadish is tired, but he's still in the game. I believe that's Bess is now. Oh, White's the defensive end, so it's Hutchinson will replace White, and he's a 4 out of 10. So 1st and 10 for Oakland, 5:01 to go in the half on their own 46. Medium cross for Chandler as Plunkett throws it again, and it's incomplete. Sanford makes the jump. 2nd down and 10 for the Raiders, 4:55 to go. Van Egan on the trap left. And he is tackled for a gain of 2. Isaiah Robertson makes his first tackle of the game. 3rd down and 8 for Oakland from their own 48. Clock running, about 4:15 to play in the first half. Chester on a medium hitches the call. The Bills blitz. Plunkett's going to have to run. It's fumbled. He is sacked. Hutchinson with the sack in the strip. Plunkett recovers it, so at least the Raiders will get to punt it. And it's a loss of 6. So that's the 3rd sack for the Bills this afternoon. And you can see why they are 3-0. They are fearless. So Guy will come in to punt. And into this one, he will punt it deep. Return is at the 18 to the 20. That's Cribbs. Cribbs gets to the 25 before he is tackled by Barnes after a return of 8. A 41-yard punt, 8-yard return. And the Bills start at their own 25, 3:24 to go. They will get the ball to start the second half. They are with the wind. Medium slant to Gant, the tight end, is the call. Ferguson has time. Gant is open. He's got a gain of 13 and a 1st down. Raiders wanted to pass. They doubled Jerry Butler. Instead, it went to Reuben Gant, and it's on their 38. They will not stop the clock. 2:45 to go. Bills have all 3 timeouts and the wind. And the 2-minute warning. Raiders blitz. And they're forced to use a timeout. They called the audible into a screen for Brown, but they couldn't get the play called off in time, and so Ferguson is forced to call time with 2:40 to play. 1st and 10. They have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning.
False start. Offense. Number 88, 5-yard
Called the
penalty.
same play and Gant
Repeat,
jumped.
first down.
So it'll be now 1st and 15 from the 33. Clock stopped at 2:40 because Ferguson was forced to use the timeout before. Pitch to Cribbs to the near side, and he's got it. Crowd likes it, has room, 35, 40 to the 45. He's going to get a first down. He finally breaks one, and he gets to the 49-yard line before he is stopped by Osteen at the for a gain of 16. They will not call timeout. They will be able to get one more play off before the 2-minute warning. Cribbs now 8 carries for 20 yards. Medium slant to Lewis is the call. And Lewis can't get it. Osteen got tangled up with him, and there's no call. So 2nd down and 10. They actually got the playoff before the 2-minute warning. So 2:01 to go. This is essentially, time-wise, a free play because the clock will stop regardless of what happens. So Brown on the right trap. Gets across midfield. Stopped at the 48. It's a gain of 3. Lester Hayes with the tackle. His 2nd of the day. So 3rd and 7 for the Bills from the Oakland side of the field with 1:54 to go. Medium slant to Butler. Ferguson looks. Has him. First down and more to the 30-yard line. Topped at the 29, gain of 19. So Ferguson is 10 of 13 today for 153. Clock running, 1:45 to go. Short hitch to Gant. They blitz. Buffalo doesn't change the play. It's a dump down to Cribbs, and he can't get it. Hendricks got to him just before the ball did, and Cribbs drops it. Clock stops, 1:24 to go. From the Oakland 29-yard line, it would be a coin flip on the field goal from here. So they have all sorts of options. From the shotgun, it's a draw play to Brown. Good call. He gets across to the 25. He shoves his way down to the 20 and gain of 9. And they'll call a timeout on 3rd and 1 from the Oakland 20. So Curtis Brown, 8 carries for 58 yards. He's been the primary back for the Bills today. So all sorts of options here. 3rd and 1. Buffalo trails by 7. It's a pitch to the far side for Cribbs. He gets the first down. He gets across the 15, gets 5 yards. They will not call timeout. They are kind of in a hurry. Hitched again, 35 seconds to go is the call, and it is intercepted by the Raiders and brought down to the 30, the 40. It is Rod Martin, and he returns it 45 yards to the Raider 47. So they have one timeout in 25 seconds. So Ferguson, kind of like Jack Squirick in that Super Bowl against the Redskins, the Raiders make a scoring save interception because Buffalo was gonna, if they didn't make it, that was a field goal. So that's big. So Plunkett has 25 seconds, one timeout, and they're gonna need something here, something relatively deep, because they can stop it once. Medium cross to Chandler is the call. The Bills rush, and it's a sack. Ben Williams, his third sack of the game, and that will bring an end to the festivities here in the first half. So in the second half, it'll be Buffalo football to start. What a first half it was. Here's the scoring summary. After an exchange of turnovers, Plunkett finds Cliff Branch for a 22-yard pass with 13:34 to go in the first quarter to make it 7-0 Oakland. Then in 5:53, the Raiders go up by 2 scores as Van Egan plunged in from the 1-on-1 play drive following a fumble. Then the Bills got it together. Ferguson finds Butler for a 23-yard pass and a good extra point to make it 14-7. After a long drive, Van Egan ran the pitch in from 7 yards out with 12:31 to go to make it 21-7. And then with 7:13 to go in the half, Ferguson found Lewis on a 12-yard pass play. So 21-14 is the score. The Raiders have 10 first down. The Bills have 13. They both rushed it a moderate amount of times with some decent success. Penalties, 4 assigned for both. The Raiders' penalties have been more costly. It's cost them a turnover and probably a touchdown. 4 for 50. The Bills, 4 for 26. The Bills have turned it over 4 times today. The Raiders once. Time of possession, 15-20 for the Bills, 14-40 for the Raiders. That offense, 236 for Buffalo, 137 for the Raiders. Van Egan, 8 carries for 50 yards, a leading rusher. For the Raiders, Brown, 7 carries for 58 yards for the Bills. Branch, 2 catches for 32 for the Raiders. Cribbs, 3 for 30 for the Bills. Your defensive leaders, Williams for the Bills, 5 tackles, 3 sacks in a hurry. Ted Hendricks, the leading defender for the Raiders, with 5 stops. And they've intercepted Ferguson twice. All right, we'll leave it right there. The second half of the video coming right up for you. With the score, Oakland 21, Buffalo 14. Enjoy some bands. It's halftime. I'm Ron Juckett. We'll talk to you the next time.